Hello, friends. Today's topic is the cost of living in Jamaica. Let's rant.
So, before I was cut off, so if you're spending $2,500 on rent in New York City, right? Because I'm comparing like a state that has a lower cost of living, which like in Ohio where I live, the cost of the living is so much cheaper than New York, but it's still expensive. So I would pay for the year. I would pay like $9,000 for the year just for my mortgage, right? For a 4-bedroom house. And in New York, if you have a 2-bedroom apartment, maybe you'll spend like $2,500 for the month, right? That comes up to about $30,000 for the year. Where y'all getting it from? Why? We can't take it, my heart. So $30,000 you're spending for the year. Now, in Jamaica, in where I live, in the part of the country where I live, so where I live, we don't call it country, right? But it's not like people who visited Jamaica like way back in the day when the infrastructure wasn't as stable and things weren't as modern. Jamaica has stepped up its game, right? So the houses are much better. The water situation is not perfect, but it's better. Electricity definitely is much better. It's not, the place is not perfect, but it's better. So now if you are willing to sacrifice some of the comforts that you're used to, like having water come out your tap 24/7 without any interruptions, then you can get a lower rent for the place that you stay. But then if you want the comforts that you have here in America, like where I live, you can live like I live in the country, but the closest biggest town that we have to us is in Mandeville. And you can rent a house or an apartment for about 55,000 Jamaican dollars for the month, right? So let's see, 55,000 Jamaican dollars for the month is like $370 American for the month, right? And that's like that's like an apartment that's really nice and set up, and modern fixtures and nice tile flooring and garbage service. So you just put your garbage out and you'll have someone, the garbage trucks come and take your garbage all the time, and there's a modern sewer system, and the water is always coming out the pipe, so you don't gotta worry. Then you can spend that much. I opted for living in the community that I grew up in. So I did do some growing in Jamaica, so I was used to a certain lifestyle. So it didn't bother me much to stay in a smaller, more rural community. That's a community that I grew up in. So I opted for a house. I rented a whole house that was a 2-bedroom, but like it's still a big house. And I'll try to find pictures and videos of the house and make a video of that if anybody wants to see that. But the only thing is there's no the city doesn't run any water there, so I had to buy water, and the water is on a tank on the top of the house. And so I have to buy water for me weekly. But I've seen people in Jamaica that are so used to living without all these things, they're used to living a lot simpler than I live. So they'll make the same amount of water that I was using last for 2 weeks. Girl, listen, I have to take a shower every day, twice a day. The girls take a shower every day. I cooked, cleaned, flush the toilets often enough. So I would have to buy water once a week, and buying water once a week came up to about $4,000 per week, right? So that's about 6 4 is 24, so it's $24 a week for water. And then the electricity. So the electricity is kind of janky in these kind of communities because they have something called teeth-in lights. Stuff that I used to see way back in the day when I was real young, when people used to steal electricity from Con Edison when we was in New York. But you can't do that no more. But in Jamaica, they still do it. And for the people that pay, that don't know how to do that or are scared to do that, like myself, I'm a punk. I don't got this heartless kind of attitude like Jamaicans do. Like, they don't care. They don't care. They gangster. I'm not. I'm puss. So I didn't do no teeth-in light, although I could have probably got somebody to do it for me. But that is either here nor there. I used to pay a light bill, and the light bill sometimes would come up to about 20,000 Jamaican dollars. So that's about $140 for the month, right? So the water is 140, right? So let's do some calculation. The water is 140. No, the light is 140. The water was $24, $24 a week. Times that by 4. So the water is about $100. So 100 plus 140, that's 240, plus the rent was, how much did I say the rent was? $370. So plus 370. So all in for the whole month, basic living, so that's light, water, and my rent. You don't pay sewer because the sewer is the toilet flush. It goes into like a pit underneath the property somewhere, and I guess you well, not I guess, but when the pit is full, then you pay a truck to come and suck out whatever is in the pit. Nasty stuff. I don't want to think about it. But, and you pay that, and that usually only happens like once every 2-3 years, if that. Like I said, people are very conservative about how they use their water in their toilets in Jamaica, in that area, especially because they don't have it like that. So all in for the whole month, all in is $610, let's round it to $650 for the month for basic living needs. Still cheaper than what I was paying every month for my mortgage, right? Way cheaper than what New Yorkers are paying. Way cheap. Like, I don't know how get out of New York. Get out. You'll never reach anywhere if you're working a regular job and you're not a doctor, lawyer, somebody that's making at least $200,000 to $300,000 a year. Because $30,000 is most people's regular freaking income, even in New York. Like, I know people that are only making $30,000 to $40,000 for the year that live in New York. How? Please explain how you do it. You guys are magicians. They talk about people are magical. New Yorkers are magical. Magicians, warlocks and witches. Something, because I don't understand how y'all make it. And with kids, how? Please explain this to me. I want to know. I need to understand. But anyway, so all in for the whole month is 600 and about, I'm rounding it up to 650 just for some wiggle room. All right. So that's one thing, the cost of living and how much it costs. Yes, ma'am.
You know, nowadays, if you're making 400,000 Jamaican a month or around 2,500 US a month, you're essentially only working to pay your bills.
How much money you feel you need for make to live comfortably in Kingston, you need somewhere in between maybe 620 to 700,000, and that's after tax.
A month.
A month, if you really save and can do all of the things and feel comfortable.
And this is not a luxury life.
No, kind of luxury life. Normal course of living.
I always wanted to go to Jamaica maybe one day. Let's continue.
Cost of living in Jamaica is so expensive right now. 40 years ago, minimum wage was $26, and that could feed a family of 5 for 1 week. Fast forward to 2024, our minimum wage right now, if you divide it out, weekly works out to around 15,000, and that can feed a family of 4, right? The exchange rate. Could you believe there was once a time where our dollar was actually stronger than the US dollar? It was around 91 cents to $1. Fast forward to 2024, right? And that same $1 US is now equivalent to 158 Jamaican dollars. That's around 17,000% devaluation of our dollar since 1974. 1 out of every 3 Jamaicans, right, now live below the national poverty line. As a financial brethren, that doesn't sit right with me. Since the 2008 recession, Jamaica has lost a lot of companies. We have companies like Air Jamaica, companies like D&G, companies like the National Sugar Company has ceased operation or has been acquired by other companies. This has resulted in major job losses, right? And right now, the demand for those skilled workers is so low right now. Most of the job opportunities now are concentrated in the BPO sector or in the tourism sector. What this means now is that these same people have moved closer to the poverty line, right? And I don't see it getting any better because the average price for food has increased by 10% year over year. And the pay no move. So I understand, is this the 2030 Jamaica that we want for our children? Place to live, work, raise family and do business? Well, I'm the financial bridging. Follow me for more business and investment tips on our social media platforms. Until next time.
So the cost of housing in Jamaica varies. It differs. Some people live off not much. Some people live off a whole lot. So you can probably find housing starting at around maybe $200 or $300 a month. Also keep in mind that at that price point, you probably won't be having the same luxury and amenities that you would somewhere else. You can find housing upwards to $2,000 a month, like you in Manhattan somewhere. I'm kind of in a mid-range. I pay about $700 or so a month. I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The housing out here, most of these places, even apartments, are owned, so you have to go through the process like you're going through like a realtor, as you're not able to just, it's not like you can go to an apartment complex, put in an application. You'll probably have to go through a realtor or whoever owns that property. So the housing ranges, it varies. A lot of people live in these big family houses, these big huge mansions, so it's very, you gotta kind of just come and see and get in where you fit in, I guess.
Seems like the cost of living in Jamaica is pretty high. I guess things have changed over the years, just like with other places. Thank you for watching. Until next time.